Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranita, Shri Gauranita, Gauranita, Shri Gauranita. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्णा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयो मुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतः सेवया भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. And today we are going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, Talks between Narada and King Prachina Barhi, text 58. Karmanyarabhate yena umaniha vihayatam ammutrani yena dhirehena Jushtani sayadushnate. Karmani arabhate yena umaniha vihayatam amutranyena dehena jushtani sayadashnute. Karmanyarabhate yena umaniha vihayatam amrutranena dehena jushtani sadashnute. Aniha vihayatam amrutanena dehena जुष्टानि सदश्नुते मन्यारभते येन हानिह विहायत पुत्रानेन देहेन जुष्टानि स यदश्नुते कर्मण्यारभते येन पुमानिह विहायतम् अमुत्राण्येन देहेन जुष्टानि स यदश्नुते माताजी कर्माण्यारभते येन पुमानिह विहायतम् अमुत्राण्येन देहेन जुष्टानि स यदश्नुते कर्माणि fruitive activities arabhate begins to perform yena by which puman a living entity iha in this life vihaya giving up tam that amutra in the next life annena another dehena by a body jushtani the results sa he yat that ashnute enjoys. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The results of whatever a living entity does in this life are enjoyed in the next life. Purport. A person generally does not know how one body is linked with another body. How is it possible that one suffers or enjoys the results of activities in this body in yet another body in the next life? This is a question of the king wants. This is a question the king wants Narad Muni to answer. How may one have a human body in this life and not have a human body in the next? Even great philosophers, scientists cannot account for the transferal of karma from one body to another. As we experience, every individual soul has an individual body, and one person's activities or one body's activities are not enjoyed or suffered by another body or another person. The question is how the activities of one body are suffered or enjoyed in the next. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधुवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम, 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, गौ निताय चंद्र भगवान की, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की. The results of whatever a living entity does in this life are enjoyed in the next life. It's a very small translation here, but it's a very deep meaning is there in this. So many of the living entities, when they think that this life is all in all, and there is um, no more life. That's it. Once life you lead and do whatever activities you want, and then nothing will happen. They are not cared about the future body. So this is a very wonderful section which is going on here. The 29th chapter talks between Narada and King Prachinabhari. So basically, Narad Muni till now he was preaching to Prachinabharishat, and now we see that after preaching a long time, he gave the allegorical story also to make Prachinabhari understand his position and take to spiritual life. And after telling that also, he again further explains that allegorical story. And in the few Bhagavatam sessions before, we were also listening to Narad Muni. He gave one more allegorical story at the end about the deer eating grass. And then after that, now the preaching is over. Till now, Narad Muni was preaching. So now the preaching is over. So it's like sometimes when the devotees are sitting and the class is going on, after the entire class gets over, then question answer happens. So that is that section is going on. So Narad Muni has told whatever he wanted to tell, the purpose of human life and everything. So now after hearing everything from Narad Muni, Prachina Barishat is now asking some questions. So I seek blessings of His Grace Anand Mehpru and all the senior devotees so that I can speak something on this verse and be in parampara. So in this verse, Prachina Barishad, he is asking, the results of whatever a living entity does in this life are enjoyed in the next life. So basically, in the purport, Prabhupada says, this question the king wants Narad Muni to answer. How may one have a human body in this life and not have a human body in the next? So this is a very uh, difficult. Sometimes people don't understand how this is happening. This life you get human body, but the next life you don't get. So how this is going to happen? So this is like actually once like there are some students when they are studying in the college, especially when they are preparing for some exam after 12th. So they prepare very nicely for that competitive exam, and then they get into some premier institute, and once they get, then they feel little relaxed because they were studying for that exam for such a long time, and now that they have entered this institute, then they feel, oh, now I should not, now I should relax a bit. Till now so many one after another sleepless nights I was studying for this exam, so now I got it and they feel relaxed. Now next 4 years it will go very nicely. But then in that they get into different things, different bad habits also, sometimes just chatting with the friends, going here and there. But and they think that whenever exam comes we will just study. When the exam comes, 1 week before I will study and I will pass the exam, like that. But then as soon as they spend the time, suddenly they realize that the exam is now just 1 week is closer, and whole year they have not studied anything. And when the exam comes, they are just looking which book to read and which exam is there, where are the books, and they are just into that. And uh, and then there is another, some other group of boys who study very sincerely from the beginning. They are studying very nicely going on, and other boys who are not studying, they will ridicule these boys who are studying. They'll say, what you are studying, we are, see, we are nicely enjoying. But the exam time comes, that time the reality is known, that who is actually enjoying. So the boys who have studied very nicely, they become very anxiety free. They will nicely give exam and they get very good marks. They get, their career is very bright, and they grow in their life very nicely. And the other boys who did not study the whole year, now when the exam is coming, they are into tension. And after giving exam also, they will have some backlogs. And by the time they reach final year, they have a lot of backlogs. Some even did not, don't even reach to the final year. And so even in the premier institutes like IIT, IIM and all, there are some boys who don't get degree. So they got it, even to get inside it is so difficult, but after getting also they could not get through. They couldn't get the degree. So this is how, so the living entities who are into eat, drink and be merry, they are actually like this, not caring for the future and not studying the entire year and thinking that everything will happen. So most of the living entities are into this category. They think that who has in the next life, why to unnecessarily worry about it, why to do so much austerities, getting up early and chant the holy name and do all these things. Who has in better, we just lead the life, enjoy whatever you want, you do it. But the problem with this life is you can't actually do what you want. You are always conditioned due to so many things. You cannot actually perform all those, even desires. People try to fulfill their desires and they get frustrated and they are not able to continue that. Whereas devotees who actually perform Krishna consciousness, for them the results of whatever a living entity does in this life, so they perform spiritual activities in this life, and in the next life also they go back to Godhead. So they are benefited in both the world. Whereas the karmis, they don't perform anything here. They try to enjoy. There also they don't get enjoyment, and after death they are they are dragged to some hellish planets and some other place because of their sinful activities, and there also they suffer. So they suffer in this world also and in the next world also. So both the ways they suffer. So that's why when there is one, His Holiness Purnachandra Swami Maharaj, he had gone to one of the universities, and then he thought that this chance I have got. So he preached very nicely. He said that you are not this body, you are spirit soul. He was very much emphasizing on that point, that you are not this body, you are not this body. And entire class he smashed them. Very, his presentation is also very dramatic. So very nicely he gave the class, and at the end of the session there was a question from the boy. So that boy, he asked, he said, okay, we are not this body, then whose body we are? And this Purnachandra Maharaj, he was shocked. He said, so much people are into bodily consciousness. I am telling them you are not this body. They are thinking, if I am not the body, whose body I am? So they are asking in that way. So then he understood people are in the darkest region of ignorance, and they don't even able to understand that we are not this body, but we are spirit soul. So they again and again comes into the material conception of life. Similarly, we see that Srila Prabhupada also, he went to Massachusetts Institute of Technology in MIT Boston. So when Prabhupada went there, it was his seminar there. All the students of MIT, they were sitting, and MIT is that is one of the very well-to-do university and having very prestigious university. So when Prabhupada was giving seminar, and MIT has many departments. So then Prabhupada immediately, as soon as he started the class, he asked, so MIT, very wonderful institute. So you have so many departments, but where is the department for Almighty? So like that he asked. So why? Because Almighty means the Supreme Lord. So you have so many departments in MIT, but Almighty, there is no department. So to know about the Supreme Lord, to know about the goal of life, and to know that we are not this body, but we are spirit soul. So there is no knowledge given in this your university. So we see that the kind of modern education people are getting nowadays, they teach people how to live in this world, how to and get in this world, but they don't give any information of how to transcend this world and go back to Godhead. So that is the real knowledge. So in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idama Uttamam. So this is the most confidential knowledge which everyone should be having. But in the modern education, they give only the knowledge to sustain in this world, to give some, to earn some chapati, sabji, daily bread and butter, which is anyway easily available, and there is no need to get the knowledge. You can just, even the farmer who is not having, he is illiterate, even though he is just farming, he is also getting his things to eat. So this knowledge is not required for that, and that's why this modern education is known as Jada Vidya. That means it only tells about Jada, only about matter, but about the spirit soul there is no information. So now how the living entities will get this information? So that is from this Srimad Bhagavatam, from the scriptures and from the great sages like Narad Muni. So we see that Narad Muni is now going to answer the same question which Prachina Bari is asking. So it will come in after a few verses. So Narad Muni says that actually the gross body, when the results of a living entity in this life are enjoyed in the next. Why? Because even the person dies, his gross body is finished. but his subtle body is still is not finished. It actually carries the soul from one body to another. So only the gross body, the thing which we are able to see, the gross body made up of Panchamahabhuta, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So that is finished. But the subtle body made up of mind, intelligence, false ego, and all the mind is a storehouse of so many desires. So that carries the living entity to the next life, and that's how he gets into next life. And then according to his subtle body and his desires and his karma, he gets another body, and that kind of bodily situation is arranged for him. And then if he still engages into material activities, then one more life. So like that he gets into cycle of birth and death, birth again death. So that punarapi jananam punarapi maranam punarapi jatani jatare shayanam, so that keeps going on. Whereas when a living entity comes to Krishna consciousness and practices spiritual life, then what happens is he becomes he practices spiritual life and all his material desires are vanished. And then the spirit soul awakens to Krishna consciousness, and along with his gross body, subtle body is also gone. And then the pure spirit soul, it directly goes to the spiritual world, and then to the abode of Krishna, to the lotus feet of the Lord. And then after going there, no more coming back. So that is how the living entity's destination is very the supreme, whereas the living entity who comes to Krishna consciousness, whereas those who just spend their time and eat, drink, and be merry, and not caring for the future, they actually get into all the bad habits, and they get into the cycle of birth and death. So, so, so this is how this section comes. So when I was reading this section also, I came to know there is people always ask, no, why bad things happen to good people. I am such a good person, everything is very nicely happening in my life, but still I am good, I am doing good, I am good to everyone, but still bad things happen to me. So how is it that? And people always worry because they don't have any knowledge of the next life and the previous life and what karmas they have done. They only know this life is all in all and just enjoy this life. They don't know anything beyond this, the matter. And that's why they get into this problem that what should I do now? Why bad things are happening to me? So they becomes very curious. So in Radheshampru actually gives one analogy in his this section of karma. So basically this verse and the next verse, it talks about the laws of karma and the transmigration of soul from one body to another. So that is what being taught in these two verses. So Radheshampru gives that example of a man. Sometimes he does crime in some bank. He may rob the bank, or he does some crime, murder someone, or steal somebody's pocket, and he runs. And police understand, oh, he is the person, and that the thief is wearing pant shirt and he is running, and the police are trying to catch him. They are going through a van. They are trying to catch different ways. The thief is trying to get through, but then finally police comes and catches. But at one time this thief, what he does, he thinks that, oh, now the police, I should not come in the garb of the police, and they know that I am wearing this particular shirt and pant. So he removes that shirt and pant and wears some other lungi, pajama, or some kurta, something he will wear, and he will garb himself in a some nice person. But the police, will they leave him just because he has changed his dress? No, the police will still catch him, because they have understood, they have caught his, in the camera they got to know his face and everything. So even though he has changed his dress, the police will still catch him, and he cannot say that, oh, why you are catching me? The person who was pant shirt, he actually did the stealing. I am not the person. Don't catch me like that. So no, he is still going to be caught, and he will be put behind bars. So similarly, this body is also like dress. And how to know that? It comes in Bhagavad Gita. So vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naro parani anyani samyani navani dehi. So that verse is there. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinani naro parani yatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyani navani dehi. So in that verse, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that actually this body is also like a dress, and as you see that the dress, sometimes when it becomes very old, then you just throw it, you don't use it again, and you need wear the new dress. So like that the body is also like that. As soon as the body becomes old and invalid, and then there is a multiple organ failure, one after another organ starts failing. So then one thinks that, oh, now what to do with this body? Neither you can eat, neither you can walk, neither you can talk, nothing is possible. So then give up this body and take another body. So then the soul is transferred to another body where he can again take birth, and again he can come to Krishna consciousness. Basically that is the purpose of life. But then if so that's how one travels from one body to another. But not knowing, people just think that I don't have any relation with my previous birth, and because this is only the life which I am living. So that's how they don't understand this simple thing. Yeah, so there is one verse which comes in Panchatantra. It is mentioned there. Yatha denu sahasreshu vassa gachati mataram. That means Yatha denu sahasreshu. That means if a calf is there, so if there are thousands of cows also, the calf will able to find out its own mother cow. So even if so many cows are there, the calf goes to the mother cow and takes the milk from that mother only. So it is said that the consequence of action that will find the doer irrespective of wherever he is. He may go to another body, he may go to whichever life, but still the consequence of action, they are going to find him and they are going to punish him. So one may say that some living entity, because for those who don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they will say that how this consequence of action is going to catch me. Suppose I am closing one room, doing some sinful activity, or I am killing a person. I am closing all the doors, everything, kill a person, stab him, and then remove all the proofs that I have killed, or you remove that particular, what, the camera, and you make things in such a way that nobody is able to find you. And it may happen that police may not catch you. There are many criminals who did some crime, went to the other countries, settled there, and police are not able to find them. Where are they? So there are people like that. So but karma, laws of karma are not like that. Laws of karma actually will find a person wherever he goes, whichever body he goes. And how it may happen? Now if something is done in one small place in a room, then how can the living entity know? So there is a one verse which comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you open that? 6.6th canto, first chapter, 42 verse number. So here it is said how the living entities, all activities are being witnessed. So recently I was reading Ajamila section and I came across this verse. So it tells about how there are so many witnesses and the living entity is always being watched by all of them. Yeah, 42. 6.1.42. So like that, all these witnesses, they see our activities, and so there are total. Anyone knows how many witnesses are there? No, six. Yeah, all this. Someone can read this. Yeah, so these many. 12 plus super soul is 13th. So 12 witnesses are there. The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night. So day, night, and evening is always going to be there. And of course, other things also. Directions. So we are always covered by directions. 4 directions are there. Water, land, and super soul himself. All witness the activities of the living entity. So this verse is spoken by Yamdutas. So when Yamdutas come to punish Ajamila, Ajamila does so many sinful activities. And then there was a discussion between Yamdutas and Vishnudutas. Vishnudutas say that this Ajamila is not sinful. And to prove them, Yamdutas actually quote this. They say that he has done all these sinful activities. And who is the proof? These all 12 people are the proof. So sun, moon, air, directions, fire, all all things, they actually always watching our all activities. So nobody can escape them. Once there was a boy. So one teacher was there. He actually, in a class, many students were there. So he told all of them that I am giving you one mango. You take this mango and go to some place, and go to a place, secluded place where nobody is watching you, and there you can eat this mango. And all boys, they went to different places when nobody was watching. They just ate the mango and they came back. But there was one boy was there, small boy. He went different places. He could not eat only. He was, because wherever he goes, he saw, oh, sun is watching me, moon is watching me, and the directions are there. The sky is there. So everywhere he went, all the places he found that somebody is watching. So he just got morose and brought the mango back to the teacher. He said, teacher, I could not find any place, because all the places somebody or other is there only. So then the teacher says, yes, you are an intelligent boy. You actually understood. So that's how the living entity cannot be, those who think that nobody is watching me, actually they are in ignorance. So these are all spies who are hidden, and it's not visible to the living entity, but they are actually watching everything and also keeping the record. The entire record of our activities is being kept, and as soon as we die, some reactions will come in this life also, and some reactions we get at the end of the life. And the end of the life, the one will be sent to the court of Yamraj, and there all his activities records, what all things he did, everything will be given, and according to him the punishments will be awarded, and nobody can escape. And especially the living entity who thought that there is no life after this life, now he comes there and now he is in bewilderment. He doesn't know what to do, because he has now caught up. Neither he can come back and improve his activities, or do some better activities, and neither he wants to get punishment. So he has been trapped in this scenario. So that's how the living entity comes in this. And that's why living, many people are very fearful of next life. As soon as you tell them or preach them about next life, they become very fearful. Oh, what is going to happen, because I am not practicing any spiritual life, then what will happen to me? So when we tell this laws of karma, people become very fearful. They don't want to listen to it. They only want to listen to some sweet, some here and there good things, but not about laws of karma, what is going to happen to me. So like that. So then living entities according to their activity, and that is true also, because if somebody is not utilizing their human life properly, then like some person, he is too much addicted to eating meat. Some people eat morning, in the breakfast, lunch, dinner, all three times they are just eating meat. And there are different countries, they have only meat that is available. But in India there are so many other things available, fruits, vegetables. But still there are some people who eats only meat all the three times, the entire week, the full month, the year. So they are just doing that. So then Lord says, oh, why this person requires a human body? He is so much addicted to eating meat, then better we give him the body of a tiger, tiger or lion, and he takes that and be happy. So Lord is actually very merciful. Whatever a person's desire is there, he gives him accordingly. If somebody wants to sleep a long time, there are people who sleep for sometime 2 days also. They are, sometimes they do sleepless nights, and then they sleep, then they get up after 2 days itself. So then Lord says, why human birth you are wasting? Better you take the body of polar bear. Polar bear sleeps for how many months? 6 months. So then you take that body, you be happy in that life, sleep as much as you want. So then, or somebody wants to, some people they just want to keep themselves nude, not keeping any clothes on them. So then they will get body of a tree, and then the tree doesn't have any clothes, so they remain like that for years together. So like that, results of whatever living entity does in this life, he gets the result of that in his next life. So you can show that photo. Recently I came to know about one very dangerous accident which happened. So this is about this is from Nagpur to Pune. There was one bus which was going, and there was an expressway, and there is no signal. What is this? Traffic and nothing is there. So people can, like, we have this outer ring road. People go very fast, but the problem is accidents happen on Royal Road. So people go with full speed, and then they face with some accidents. So similarly in this case also it happened. So I will just show you some picture of that, how ghastly that particular accident was. It's not so much visible, but you can see the heading. 25 people died in an horrific accident on Maharashtra's Samruddhi Mahamarg, Nagpur Mumbai Expressway. So you can see the bus is there. Now you can't actually recognize that it's a bus, but it's completely like finished, burnt, full, nothing remained. So basically, there were 25 people who, there were around 28 people who were traveling. Three somehow escaped from that. So what happened is, it was a midnight overnight journey, and the many people were going from Nagpur. So then they started, and when the midnight came, the doctor was actually little drunkard, and at one time and very full speed he was driving, and then there was a turning which he could not see, and then there was a big divider. So somehow he hit the divider, the vehicle went into the divider and fully toppled, and it fell on the that door is there, no, entry door. There only it fell, so nobody could escape that bus. And it's the dead of the night, everybody was topsy turvy, like you are sleeping somewhere, you are night, because once you fall, and there is no way to escape because it's a AC bus. AC bus, there are no window you can't open. So then they couldn't escape also. Neither the door they could get through. The drivers were intelligent. They actually, the mistake happened, but as soon as they understood the vehicle is going, he actually just went away from there. But all the people in the night, they went, and it immediately took the next slide. Yeah, the bus immediately burst into flames after its diesel tank exploded, giving commuters no chance to escape. So the diesel tank, it exploded and immediately started burning, and they didn't understand what to do, from where to go. People were totally in opposite. Their heads were down, legs were up. They couldn't know how to come out of this situation, and it was very ghastly accident. Everybody was burned to ashes. They couldn't even, not a single person's body was also visible. Next day, when the police came and understood the entire scenario. So some people, they had come with their son. They admitted their son to one college, and the mother father, they just came to drop the son, and they were going back, and they went to the accident and died. Some of the people, they just got a newborn baby, and they were carrying the baby with them back to their home, but on the way this thing happened, they also died. And there were some old people, they also left. So everybody's, in that newspaper, everyone's story was written. What happened to this person, what was his life, and this person came for this purpose, and he went. So like that, everyone has different lifestyle, and they all came together and died in this ghastly accident. So now one may say that, oh, how it can happen? What was the mistake of these people? Why did it happen? And nobody could understand why such thing has to happen. There were some people who also wanted to board the same bus, but somehow the tickets were full. They could not get, and they went into another bus, so they were saved. And some people who got into it, they, so laws of karma are so powerful that if somebody has done some, because there is no other reason what you can give. One may say, okay, this happened by chance or this or that, but otherwise, if somebody is getting that particular punishment, then there has to be some, or suffering is coming, then there has to be some reason behind it. So that we can understand only from scriptures. So in the this particular purport, Prabhupada says, a person generally does not know how one body is linked with another body. So he does not know how one body is linked with another body. So this missing link is there, which people are very much not aware, that how, where is this link? But this missing link is given in the scriptures. So in Bhagavad Gita 2 point, I think 13th verse, it comes, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumadam yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptis dhiras tatra na muhyati. So as the embodied soul passes from childhood to youth to old age. So similarly, at the end of the life, he goes to another body. So that is the transmigration of the soul, which is given in the scriptures, and that is the missing link, which is not known to many of the people in general. And that's why, when we go for preaching, this is the what knowledge we give. And even Krishna gives the same knowledge to Arjuna. Initially, only this verse comes. Krishna starts speaking in Bhagavad Gita, I think in the second chapter. Uh, Initially, 1-2 verses he chastises Arjuna, and then 10th verse onwards he starts speaking. So these are very initial verses which talks about the difference between body and soul. So that is the first knowledge which Krishna gives to Arjuna, and we see even Prabhupada is giving the same knowledge to. So very simple knowledge, but it's very beneficial for us to know that what is going to happen. And when we know about this, then we can change our lifestyle. We can bring Krishna into the center, and we can make our current life also blissful, and in the future life also very blissful. For devotees, there is actually all the, and scriptures not only tell this missing link, they also give the example. So there are many instances where there are living entities who are in the Bhagavatam also, the sections are there, where the devotees or particular person, he was practicing, he remembered something, and he got some body after that. An example like that, one reincarnated. Yeah, Bharat Maharaj. Yeah. So you see, Bharat Maharaj, he was practicing, but somehow at the end of the life, instead of thinking of Krishna, he thought of deer, and then he became deer, and then he went Jad Bharat, and later he went back to God. Similarly, Gajendra also, in this previous life, he was Indradumna, King Indradumna, but then because of his neglect of some sages, Agastya Muni, so then later he got cursed to become a elephant, and in the elephant also he became the king of all the elephants. But then when he was caught, he remembered the prayers and went back to Godhead. Even it is said that the crocodile who was there, he was also having it was his second life. In the previous life, he was Uhu. Yeah, so he was actually playing in the water, trying to touch the feet of one sage from the water inside. And the sage was immediately shocked. "Hey, what is this? Somebody is touching my feet." And then he understood some person is there. He said, "You are acting like a crocodile, you become crocodile." And that's how he becomes crocodile. And this in Gajendra was Indradumna, King Indradumna, he becomes elephant. So this is how we see that the life is there. Accordingly, what we do in one life, we get the result in the next life. So that is given in all the scriptures. So even this Dhritarashtra is there. So it is said that actually he was a hunter in his previous life, and as a hunter he had lot of bad habit of he wanted to see the birds. He was actually killing the small children birds when their parents were alive. He was very much having experiencing bliss while killing those birds, they're piercing their eyes and all. So he was very cruelly killing all these birds. So like that he killed almost 100 birds when their parents were alive. So then, because of this reaction, he was supposed to get his 100 sons killed. So then, but he cannot directly come in the next life, get 100 sons, and all the 100 sons will be killed. Because even to get a son, there has to be some pious activity which has to be performed. Then one will be eligible to get one son in the life. So like that, Dhritarashtra went through many pious activities just to get a punya or pious karma to be get 100 sons. And after getting 100 sons, for almost it took him 50 lifetimes to generate that much karma. And after generating that karma, when he took the life of a Dhritarashtra and got 100 sons, all of them were killed. So this is how the reaction of our one life can come in not only just next, it may come in the future lifetimes also. It may go on for so many lifetimes. After 50 lifetimes, he got his karma. So one may think, oh, why it is happening? So this is the laws of karma which are working. And many people, especially the scientists, what Prabhupada is saying, scientists cannot account for the transfer of karma from one body to another. So scientists don't know that how this is happening. Like Darwin, if at all he knew about the concept of spirit soul, he would have researched on soul. But he was researching only on body, and that's why his evolution was imperfect. Because he was only thinking of the body transfers like this and it becomes like this, and that's how he stated that. But he didn't knew that beyond the body there is spirit soul also. So spirit soul actually goes from one body to another. That knowledge was not known to Darwin, and most of the scientists are going on in the this bodily conception only. They think that chemicals, it's a bundle of chemicals and like that. So at the end, to conclude, I'll just tell that there is one small story which Srila Prabhupada tells in his lectures about actually there was one sage. He was going and giving benediction to different people. So once this one sage was there, so he goes to first Rajaputra. So he gives him Rajaputra, and blessing was you Rajaputra Chiranjiva. That means you are a king, you are a son of a king, you are a prince. So you Chiranjiva means you may you never die, because you are just enjoying here and there. Once you die, you will go to the hell. So better Chiranjiva, you never die, you remain like this. Then ahead he goes. Then he says Muniputra or a Brahmana. So then he says Muniputra Majiva. Majiva means you die immediately, because basically a brahmachari, he says you are doing so many austerities, so much tapasya and all. So you are this life is little lot of suffering, but as soon as you finish this life, you will go back to Godhead. So that's why Majiva, you die immediately. So like that. And the third person was, I think, no, yeah, fourth was butcher. Third was one sage. So the sage was fully practicing Krishna consciousness and everything, and he was very blissful in his life. So then the sage tells him that uh, Jivava Marava Sadhu, because you are a sadhu, even if you neither means you live and you die, nothing, no matters. Because while living also you are blissful, after dying also you'll go to spiritual world, there also you are blissful. So actually for brahmachari, the second one who is very austere and all, he says you die because you will go to the heavenly planet, not to the spiritual world. But in the third case, he is like a devotee. So in this life also is blissful, next life also is blissful. So then he says you live or you die, and it doesn't matter, like that. And then fourth one was butcher, and the butcher, he gives benediction that ma jiva mamara. That means you you don't die also and you don't live also. So like that he tells to butcher, because as a butcher his life is already hellish. So now also hellish, and after living this body also hellish. You don't die, don't live. So you be like this one. So that's how he gives benediction to different people. So devotees come in the third category. Their life is, in this life also they are blissful, in the next life also they are blissful. So they engage their entire life in chanting, dancing, hearing Krishna katha, taking darshan of Lord. So like that their whole life goes very wonderfully. So one person had asked that what you are practicing so much, getting up so early in the morning and doing so many things, not eating outside, and so many tapasya kind of. So for them it is tapasya, for us it is blissful activity. So then he was asking, what if in case you come to know that at the end of life there is no God, what will you do? He said, oh, even if in case we come to know, okay, there is no God, but still we have lived a very wonderful life. We are living blissful life. We didn't have any anxiety, no depression, nothing. But what? Then he counter questions him. So see, you are doing so many sinful activities. What if at the end of life you come to know that Krishna exists? Then what will happen to you? And then he was very fearful. He says, yes, yes, I want to practice Krishna consciousness. One more place, one boy was there. He was very much reluctant to take to Krishna consciousness. So devotee was preaching and telling this. What he once asked, he got frustrated. He asked, "What is the goal of your life?" He said, "Goal of my life is to go to America." And the devotee said, "Oh, what is this? America you want to go?" He said, "Yes, you come to my room." And he showed the room. All American photos were kept. Or even he was talking American style. He was wearing the t-shirt and everything American style only. He said, "My goal is to go to America only." But somehow his things were not happening. He didn't clear that particular exam, and he was failing into that. But he said, "I want to." He was hearing some American music also. So then the devotee said, "See, you are so much America conscious. Next life you'll born in America." And as soon as it was said, the person became very happy. Oh, wonderful! Not only instead of just going in this Indian body to America, I'll get American body. Wonderful. Then the devotee immediately said, "There's a warning also. Not that you will get a human body only. You may get an animal. You may be a dog in America." Then he said, "No, no, I don't want to become a dog." So then later he started chanting few rounds. So that is how people, their goal is very material, and so they get that kind of bodies. But devotees, when because of their practice, they become very purified, and at the end they get a very wonderful result. In this life also Krishna takes care of them, and at the end of the life also Krishna comes. And so in case a devotee perfects his life, he will go to the spiritual world. And what if he does not perfect his life? Still there is no cause. Neha vikramanashusti pratyavayana vidyate. So in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. If he has not perfected in this life, then again he takes next life and again continues. He takes birth in the devotee family and again continues. He again gets chance to become Krishna conscious, and he perfects his life. So whatever percentage he has left, it starts with the ahead. The spirituality is always goes ahead like that. So that's how we see the devotee's life is very wonderful. So in the next few verses, Narad Muni is going to answer the question in a more brief way, and we will have more insights on this particular topic. So thank you all very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Hare Krishna.